You expect me to care about this podcast?
We're three unqualified northerners with microphones. This is the previously recorded podcast, Game of Thrones edition.
Season 8, episode 4.
All right, welcome to previously recorded, our Game of Thrones edition, episode 4, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, episode 4 recap, episode 5 predictions. Today, as always, this episode of previously recorded is brought to you by Totally Tees. For all your t-shirt needs, contact Jack at Totally Tees. If you need them for parties, events, whatever, I don't know, birthday parties and
Orgies,
whatever.
Orgies.
If you really need
Incest orgies.
If you need a t-shirt,
Game of Thrones
he'll
style.
make it.
All right, as always, I am joined on the podcast by Bob. Welcome back, Bob. And a regular on this series, we have Chris joining us again. What up, man?
Good morning.
All right, so what did we think of the episode? Episode 4, The Last of the Starks, potentially?
Episode 4, The Last of the Starks, yes, is the name. Personally, for me, again, we've waited a couple times on these to kind of gauge outside reaction. For people who are very disappointed. Didn't hate it. Didn't love it either. I think that there's clearly flaws with this season, but the flaws are Game of Thrones flaws. Like, if this was another show and these episodes are coming out and there wasn't like that established barometer of what they should be like, I think that they would still do well. But because there's such a high standard with Game of Thrones, I think that's why there's like a big it's like there's a big pushback. It is clearly rushed.
Yeah.
It seems rushed after a year and a half of waiting. And so I think a lot of people are just kind of like frustrated with the fact that they're not getting the things that they were waiting a year and a half to see.
Yeah. It is frustrating when they miss things like a coffee cup. Like
I don't understand why that's such a big deal. Honestly, who gives a fuck?
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny. I
but
really think it's a big deal.
Why I think it's kind of a big deal is you have these people that are such attention to detail. They hide everything. They edit this. They look at this footage, and you're just looking at a coffee cup. I just think it's funny. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like it blends. I didn't notice it when I watched the episode.
No one did.
No one noticed it until afterwards.
It looks like a cup. It's a cup on a table at a party.
It could easily look like a cup. Yeah.
Who cares? So let the fucking intern keep his job.
Yeah.
My
Said
reaction.
cup again.
Yeah.
Said cup entirely too much.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing a cup right now just in case somebody tries to
We're all drinking out of a cup.
Yeah.
Speaking of our drink.
We are actually drinking. We are drinking a, I guess, ghetto version of Hold the Door, where I just got the soda, the berry soda that goes with it. But we're drinking the Johnny Walker White Walker Scotch.
Yeah, we highly recommend putting it in cups.
Yes.
If you're a member of a couple, then you might want to drink this with your partner.
Yeah. Totally Tees might be able to make you cups as well.
Make a decal.
They can definitely make you koozies, which could hold your cup.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah, so
Hey, Bob, how do you spell iCup?
ICUP.
Oh, I got that motherfucker.
I don't see him pee.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
He's a piece of shit.
Well, speaking of pieces of shit, let's get this one in early. George R. R. Martin, if you're listening.
Boy, do I have some stuff for George R. R. Martin later on.
Yeah. My reaction to the episode, I think, I liked it when I watched it. I haven't rewatched it.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance.
My predictions, I feel like none of us expected any action whatsoever, and I feel like we got a good amount of action.
That's what I did want to say. About halfway through the episode, the whole Euron Greyjoy thing caught me off guard.
Caught me super off guard.
Wasn't mad about it. People were. Wasn't pissed. I really enjoy the people who say Viserion's not dead.
What?
Yeah, that was the thing like on Monday. And
we watched him die.
That motherfucker got cut in the jugular.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Viserion, you mean Rhaegal?
And Rhaegal's alive.
Oh, Rhaegal's
the one that died. Yeah,
Viserion
was the ice dragon.
Rhaegal's fucking totally dead.
Yeah, it's so dead.
Dude,
yeah.
the first arrow kills him.
Maybe not the first.
In the
Is that-
abdomen?
nah.
Yeah, that's the one in the abdomen, then hit him in the wing,
The
then hit him
one
in the
went
neck.
through his throat.
But I'm saying, even
That's
if he
the
hit him
one.
once,
I'm
first of
saying
all,
that's the one. You're not living after
yeah,
that.
and also,
You're up high. My thing with that was,
you're on 3 for 3 hitting the dragon.
here's my
Dude's a
thing.
Sniper.
Come on.
Practicing.
Here's my thing with that. Danny is high up enough, unless she was just not paying attention to be able to
see a
fleet.
To see a fleet.
Also, everyone-
the previous scene, her last scene was them telling
Brain. Davos.
Varys telling her
Okay.
about the Euron fleet.
Yeah.
And- be aware for 'em.
And in the after credits of the episode, the creators and the producers, they're both creator producers, said she just forgot about. She just happened to
Oh,
forget.
she forgot.
Yeah.
She's so forgetful while trying to win the Iron Throne.
It's just like-
shut up. Stop being lazy.
Also, she could have went behind them.
yeah, dude. Everybody
and lit.
that we were with was like, "Why doesn't she just fly around behind them and fuck them up?"
And it just
Right?
seems like it's easy.
Or just fly super straight up in the air. It's not like they can
Yeah.
tilt the thing
It just
back
seems
and
like
then
it's
just burn
very,
fire down on 'em.
it's very easy.
lazy.
It's lazy. It's cheap, and it's not Game of Thrones. And it's. I'm not nitpicky. I enjoyed the episode, but that is the thought I had. While I watched it, I was shocked that we lost a dragon because I did not expect that.
Yeah, like I like the fact that the dragon died because it's like, oh shit, what the fuck, what just happened? But then you think about how the dragon died, and it was like, well, that's fucking.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
And no-
that's
like-
Come
silly.
on, it's a
That's-
fucking dragon.
that's
Kill it better
silly.
than that.
Why didn't they storm Dragonstone? They could have killed
All those people.
all of them.
I think
unexpected.
so. I think they don't storm Dragonstone because they want to have the negotiation. Mm-hmm. Try and get her out from Missandei, which I can live with that. Like I can understand that. You don't just storm because then the war, there's no stopping it before it starts.
Yeah.
So you at least get that scene with.
But would Cersei want to stop it?
Qyburn. Well, if she doesn't have to fight, she makes her look even better. She gets rid of the Dragon Queen without fighting them. She's already got all the people in the Red Keep, like in the red, close to the Red Keep in the castle, so that she looks good because she's protecting the people of Winterfell. Then you have that scene with Tyrion and Qyburn, like, let's get away with this. Can I get?
Enough of Tyrion.
No, well, we'll get to Tyrion in a second. Can I get a turtleneck for Qyburn? That guy shows off way too much neck.
Yeah, it does.
That guy's
It's real
gross.
Yeah, like get your neck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
So
Looks like a loose vagina.
Yeah, it does. I get turned on a little bit. But
one
not
of
so
my
much.
issues with the episode, we'll start from the beginning, kind of.
If I have a burner during the episode, it's probably for Qyburn.
Yeah.
That's
Not
disgusting.
Qyburn, his neck. Come on, I'm
neck.
not weird.
So
Neck.
the beginning of the episode, it kind of starts with all of them, putting the rest of the dead, which it was all really well done.
Putting the rest to dead.
Oh my God, you're fired from the podcast.
I say some stupid shit on here.
Wait, so did you know
Putting
that?
the rest of the dead, like lighting them on
Oh my
fire.
God,
giving
putting
them
the
a burn.
dead to rest.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Putting the rest of the dead.
Hey,
whatever.
putting the rest of dead. Yeah, putting the rest of dead.
dead.
Yeah, making sure that all the rest, the people who need rest, die.
Yeah,
Like
that's
if you're
it.
tired, then go die.
Yeah.
Just get some sleep.
Guys, don't stay up too late.
I did like.
sure you get some
with-
sleep, or
I
you're
did
gonna
like
die.
with that whole part with like Danny kind of saying goodbye to Jorah.
No, I
'Cause,
thought
like
that
it
was.
started with
I
him
didn't
like
think that was a good scene.
yeah, it's like
I
it
loved
kind of
it.
brought everything.
John's speech
together.
too.
Did
I
you
thought
know
John
that
had a good
John's?
speech.
No, well, John didn't have a great speech because half of John's speech was Maester Aemon's speech from after the battle.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, like almost word for word. I'll read it.
So basically,
From after
Jon
the battle
is
of
a copycat. is
the
what
wall?
you're saying.
He is a copycat. All right,
What a
so
fucking
after the
asshole.
Battle of Castle Black, right? All right. Master Aemon says they die protecting men, women, and children who will never know their names. We shall never see their like again. And then
I feel like that's a very John thing to do, though.
John says, "We're here to say goodbye. Our fellow men and women who set aside their differences to fight together. It is our duty to honor and keep them alive in memory. We shall never see their like again." But he says something else along the lines of like,
He had to more
people
than
won't
that.
know their names.
Yeah,
Like
I'm okay with
it
that.
It was very telling. So there's theories about this. It kind of matches the theory that I had in the original Game of Thrones podcast that we did prior to the miniseries. I think it was that episode. It might have been later where I say that Jon is going to take the black and kind of go north again after this is all said and done and not become king.
Maybe the mini episode didn't get put out.
So it
Because we
no,
started
it would have
this
been the
series.
miniseries. I mean,
Oh.
I don't think that was on the mini episode.
Yeah, that because we started this. So
No,
we
yeah,
Yeah, I
put
yeah.
that out.
remember that one.
It was either on. It was on. I definitely talked about it on one of the episodes when I said who I thought was going to be on the throne. I said Tyrion's going to end up on the throne because Jon's going to leave. He's not. He doesn't want to be king. He's not going to be king, and I think he goes north. And there's a theory I'll
Yeah,
get
but
to
what's the
later
point of going north?
because he remember. So in this
What's
episode,
there?
his like that. He doesn't want any of this shit. He just
Like
wants
he's
to
staying
live.
north in Winterfell, or he's like going
Like
up
the
to the
north,
wall.
like Tormund goes north. Because Tormund says he goes.
Yeah,
He goes.
You have
He'd
north in
be
you.
happier up there, and Tormund goes, yeah, so will you.
Yeah.
You have north in you. So I would still like to see. I don't like John.
God, who the fuck would want to live in that cold all the time?
Hey, I mean,
That is
Sign
a
me
time-
up
I mean,
for King's Landing.
Basically, the all
I'll
8
take
seasons. Well,
Doran. I'll get sunburned,
Doran
but I'll
would be sweet.
take
They're all
basically
freaks
all-
out there, too.
Yeah.
all
Get
8
butt
seasons,
sucked out
John
there.
has
Yeah.
spent the entire time in the north. I don't think he's gone south once.
He's south now. He's
Went
probably
south
gonna
on
die.
Danny. Boom.
Oh,
He went
hell,
south on
his
his hand.
Burn.
All right, so
Getting back to the episode.
Yeah, we get back to
Danny,
that.
Danny and John made out again,
Yeah.
despite knowing the truth. How do
Yeah.
we feel about
And then
that?
still told each other they loved each other.
you're still realizing you're seeing the sides of Danny that,
That was so awkward.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't cut it. Let it
Yeah,
go. Let it
leave
live.
it there. And listen
You're
to
still
it.
seeing the sides of Danny.
Go ahead.
The crazy bitch side.
Yeah, I love it.
You were
I
trying
love
to
it so
say that in a
much.
way that's not misogynistic.
No,
Yeah.
she's being the mad. She's going to be the mad
Yeah,
king.
I love
Queen,
it.
Mad
She
Queen.
should have done that
Queen,
when,
Queen,
when
Queen.
Elena told her, the lords of Westeros are sheep. You're a dragon. Be a dragon. That's when she should have said, "Fuck this,"
she's
and
gonna burn
took all
everything.
3 dragons and burnt them
Burn,
motherfuckers
burn,
to the
burn, burn,
ground.
burn, burn, burn.
Burn them to the ground.
The fact that
Can we talk about how
She's- once-
Elena is probably the best character in the whole entire
She's
show?
sweet. Dude.
Ruthless bitch,
she's
man.
Sweet. She's like she's super underrated too.
Oh, yeah. The ball she has to kill Joffrey, and then be like, "Oh, I don't know what happened."
Ooh, so what a mystery.
What a mystery. And then tell his dad, like, "Yeah, by the way,
I killed him.
yeah, I killed your kid," and I liked watching it.
a
The
lot actually happened this episode.
nightshade.
There's a lot.
was
There's
a lot.
Brienne and Jamie.
Yeah, dude. All right, so can we
Ew.
talk about all the weird shit that happened this episode? Aside
Podrick-
from Qyburn's neck,
Podrick
Podrick
used-
definitely
Slayed
got it on with
two
like
dude.
hot girls.
all right,
Podrick
2 hot
is-
girls that we know about. He definitely slayed half of Winterfell.
Yeah,
yeah.
Podrick's a coxman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The hard,
Podrick fucks.
the hard friend zone from Arya to Gendry.
That was awesome.
There's a hard,
when-
hard
when-
friend zone.
When he went there, I was like, oh no, and I was
Yeah.
like, that'd be so.
Oh,
out
yeah,
of character.
marry me.
I love you. I like you a
Yeah.
lot too.
Hey,
I really value our friendship.
Any girl would really enjoy that. But not me.
Yeah.
Not Arya.
Thanks.
Um,
Yeah. I'll take my flat head to Davos or wherever the fuck or wherever Bravio or wherever the
Bravos,
fuck. Yeah,
Bra-
Bravos. Bravio. What an asshole.
Bravio sounds like a guy with long hair who's on like the cover of romance novels.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Oh man.
Oh.
This show's a fucking shit show tonight. Homeboys.
this is bad.
This is a bad one.
I'm actually really enjoying
I like it a lot because it's so fucking awful. Brought to you by Totally Tease.
All right. We'll cut the awkward sides there, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. I'm enjoying the nonsense.
Yeah,
tonight.
this
It's
is-
fine.
this is great.
There's just actually just a lot I want to talk about.
All right. Well,
So I haven't
let's
gotten
go.
it.
Let's go through it. Let's go through and
So Sansa ratting out John immediately.
She's an asshole.
She did that shit on purpose, but I feel like that's out of character for the Starks.
I don't think it's out of character for her at all. Who did Sansa surround herself with for the last
Littlefinger,
7 seasons? Littlefinger. How? Why is she still alive?
Littlefinger, Brienne.
Because she was able to fucking Littlefinger better than he was able to Littlefinger her.
Yeah, it
And
makes
I
sense.
didn't mean that in a sexual way.
I
But
just
it came off that way.
I wish
the,
she did.
the way the Starks operate is just
Sansa doesn't operate like a Stark. Arya doesn't operate like a Stark.
Sansa, you gotta figure Sansa when she grew up in those prime years of like learning shit. She wasn't.
she
in
went through a
Winterfell.
bunch of shit.
Remember that
So
time
she
she
don't
got
grow up
raped
as
by
a Stark.
Ramsey?
Yeah.
She,
I mean,
she
she didn't
doesn't
really-
care. She wants to make sure that nothing bad happens to her or her family again.
Yeah.
So, or the North. So what do? You put John on the throne. You don't have to worry about Dany being on the throne. She doesn't have a claim anymore, and this whole thing's solved in her head.
Yeah.
I think
he'll let her run the
And
North.
Sansa doesn't have to do anything. All she's got to do is put this word in Tyrion's ear. She knows he's going to run to Varys. Now it's a whole new ball game for
Fuck
them.
Varys too.
I actually really liked him because he was acting as he always does.
Varys,
I know.
he's such a scumbag.
He's just
Yeah, he was acting in the best interest
I
of
just- you know
himself
what?
and
of the
people.
realm. He always
Yeah.
says the
Yeah,
realm.
you know what?
realm.
You don't give a shit about the realm.
No, you
you
still
care
wanna
about
die.
who's gonna help you out the most.
Exactly. That's the
And
way
he's
he's
really
always
good
Yeah,
at
but
it.
it bothers me that he always says, like, I look in the best interest of the realm. You know you don't.
No, you don't.
Because
give
the
a shit
best
about
interest
realm.
of the realm is the
Ridiculous
best interest
fuck.
of him.
Yeah, well, no. It's not.
Does he not have a dick
That
or
dude
not
is
have
never.
balls?
He's a eunuch. They usually don't have balls.
He has no balls.
Sometimes
That's
they would
probably
take off
silly.
everything.
That's probably silly
Grey Worm's
looking.
got nothing.
Yeah, Grey Worm's a Ken doll.
Yeah, he's a Ken doll down there, and he doesn't need to use it anymore because his broad doesn't have a head.
Which
Yeah.
and then we
I
all
guess
knew
we
it was
can get
coming.
into that.
We all knew that was coming. That she was getting.
Yeah, but I thought she was gonna get shoved. I didn't think
I
she was
thought
gonna
she
be
was gonna
headed.
get shoved
I thought
too,
they was
yeah.
pushing her off.
I wish they would have done
I wish she
more-
would have gotten shoved and she took Cersei with her.
I would have been cool if like the mountain put her over his head, like full on, just fucking like just killed this.
Yeah,
girl.
like gorilla pressed her.
Yeah, just threw her off.
Yeah, that would have been
Or
sweet.
if he like,
I feel like they should have done more though. Like
What if he
with
threw her?
Euron capturing her, like the fucking thing came down and hit Tyrion and then it went to black. And
Yeah.
it was just like, well, what the fuck? They don't.
Yeah.
He just captured
I was
her.
all right with that because it was for a minute it was one of those. All right, what happened? Is Tyrion fucked up? What's going on? Then you see Tyrion. Then you see who was with Tyrion? Oh, Varys, right? Was right
Varys,
there.
yeah.
Then you see Grey Worm, and then Grey Worm has like that. You can't find him. Did you guys see the thing of him singing the
Yeah.
Running Man song
No.
into a megaphone? I'll
it
show
good?
it to you
Alright.
after this. It's pretty funny. It's like from like an earlier season, but it's just him singing the song into like a megaphone, doing the dance, and then Missandei comes over and she's like doing the dance next to him, like on the set. It's pretty funny. But
She got no head.
I would have been cool with like the mountain throwing her off the wall, and then like jumping off the wall and giving her like a giant elbow drop.
Yeah, like the Macho Man elbow
Yeah.
drop.
And that's the way he goes out too.
Yeah, like a
Nah, he ain't-
he wouldn't
he can't
die
die.
because he's already dead. So it's like it's just that's a reference back to in
What is dead may
season.
never die.
It's a reference back in season 2, episode 6, where they were watching Mick Foley and Undertaker in Hell in a Cell.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
That was a good episode.
That was awesome. It was so good.
What else? What else we got?
Brienne and Jamie, we never really talked about. Did anybody
So-
enjoy that?
No, it was uncomfortable. But when he left her, how did you take it? That he was going to help her or going to take
Going
down?
to kill Jamie or
Going
going
to
to kill
Cersei?
Cersei? That's the
I
way
thought it
looked
was him
at
going to help her.
Nah, see, I looked at it.
What
as-
if
I think
I
he
think
played.
he's obsessed with her.
I think he played the dick role, but like when he
they
was,
left it ambiguous?
when he was sitting on the chair, just like staring off into space, I think that was for me. That was him like, fuck,
I have to go kill her.
I have to go kill Cersei, and him knowing that he's probably going to die in the process because he knows that Brienne's going to try and talk him out of it if he tells her that that's what he's going to do. But if he does, it's like Air Bud. It's a whole Air Bud situation, which you got with Ghost too. Like, no, get out of here. I never liked you anyway. He basically does that to Brienne, so she's not going to like chase him.
I didn't like that Brienne cried. I feel like that is just so out of character for
Yeah,
her.
right.
No, it's not. So you guys don't understand where the characters are. Who's the only person that Brienne's ever really cared about is who?
Podrick.
Podrick has like a
Sansa.
mentor. Sansa was a job almost for her. She never really like, but she likes Jamie.
Yeah.
And then Jamie kind of pushes that to the extent where they are like intimate. It's the first person she's intimate with, and then he fucking ups and leaves and says, "Yeah, I love my sister, deuces."
I don't know.
Like he brought the emotion out of her. It is out of character because you've never seen her cry. She's
Never really
crying
showed
because
really any well, she showed the emotion when she got knighted, but I was cool with that. I mean, that made sense. And I'm not saying this doesn't make sense, but it would have been like better off if she had like. So I'd have been okay with her having like the same kind of cry that she had when she got knighted, where it was kind of just like a tear rolling down her face. I would have felt like that would have been more her showing like more hurt.
Yeah, I can agree with that. She did have like kind of a Kim Kardashian like gross cry face situation going on.
It's weird that you know what Kim Kardashian looks like crying.
Yeah. So
Well, sometimes I cry to her crying, and then I use those tears to help me.
Yeah. From when you manipulate yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Lubrication, RP. That's what he's getting at.
Yeah.
You masturbate.
so at this point, Arya takes off
Oh, wow. He's really
and,
keeping us on track.
and heads
I know.
south
We're
As
trying.
much as we try to derail this
She
thing,
heads south
he's
with-
not letting it happen.
with
We'll get him.
with the mountain. I mean, with the hound.
I did like that.
I did like that
I
too.
did like
that
that.
a lot.
I don't know what's happening. If there's two buddy cop shows that I'd like to see, it's Tormund and Ghost and Arya and the Hound, just like
Also,
going around the world.
speaking of Tormund, when he cried, like when he got all upset about
Yeah.
Brienne,
And
and then
then
immediately the
Amelia
next
and
girl, I was like, that is
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Dude.
such like a
But she
him
goes,
move.
I'm not scared of wilds. He goes, you should be.
He's a wildling. He don't care. If
Can
you want,
what if Arya meets Cersei or meets Jamie on the way? She takes out Jamie,
And where's
where's his
his face?
face?
That's what I
but
was
why?
saying.
Why is she?
Well, why would
take-
she kill Jamie? He's
Jamie
not on the
just
list.
Exactly.
fought-
That's the only thing.
Jamie
Why
just
would
fought
she
with
kill
him, too.
Jamie?
Unless there is the battle in King's Landing, and say Euron kills Jamie, and Arya kills.
How does that
Euron,
work?
and
Do
then
you have to
face-to-face.
kill them to be able to wear their face?
No, I
I
think if
believe
they're-
so.
Do you have to kill them?
No, actually
they
not,
just have to
because
be
they
dead.
would. Yeah, they would die in the
Yeah, because all the faces in
House
there.
of 1,000 Faces. They would come in there basically to die. A bunch of people would.
Yeah,
and then they would just use their faces. So now you just have to take care of their dead body after they die. I don't know that she can wear a face right now. In those circumstances, how is she gonna get Jamie's face that fast? Because remember she had to
How'd she do that
they would
with
have
Walter,
to
how'd she do that with Walter Frey?
I mean, they
it was
went
a
to
servant for Walter
Dragonstone in one
Frey. She
episode.
could have been just hidden in that castle.
And they went to Dragonstone in 15 seconds.
Yeah, true. I mean,
The pacing that's also
It's
what pissing
so
me off. Which
annoying.
last season I was okay with. It's they want to get to the point, but now everything just feels too rushed.
Yeah, I get it. Why couldn't it have been 9 episodes?
yeah.
It could have been easily 7 again, or 7 or 8.
Just slow it down a
I
little
don't
bit.
understand why. Even in the trailer for the preview for the next episode, Dany's back at Dragonstone.
Is she?
Yes, yeah, she is.
I guess we're just fucking popping back and forth from King's Landing, just hopping in the RV.
They
taking
also
the kids
showed
to
that John's down there too.
John's down in King's Landing, I think.
Yeah, he is with her.
Yeah.
So she goes back and forth.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
she's just all over.
Where it's
the
they
place.
just have thrown off.
Then maybe they have time.
I enjoyed the episode.
It
I
turns
liked
out
it.
that Westeros is only as big as Northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
So basically,
That's
they
what it
go
seems.
from Kensington to Mayfair in same amount of time as you
Yeah,
go to
can
King's
walk.
Landing to
You
Dragonstone.
can walk if you want.
Yeah.
So
For all you international listeners, those are different neighborhoods. We know you're out there.
Wait, actually, that's very true.
Yeah.
Shout out to people from Australia, Sweden, Spain, the UK. If you've listening,
The Congo.
Canada. Shout out. Thanks for listening. The Congo,
The Congo.
Caribbean islands,
Yes.
Hogwarts, whatever.
Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
We have a couple listeners
Is
from
the
Kazakhstan.
greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
In my country, there is problem.
No. And that problem is transport.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just everything. I liked the last episode when I watched it, and going back and thinking, there's a lot of cool parts. Basically, everything in the north I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I thought when they went south, it was fine. When they went to Dragonstone, I had my problem. That was the big problem. It's why the fuck did she not see? Because they came out from behind a rock.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing. The whole thing with the dragon dying. I understand why people were mad. Like I said,
Shocked
it's
me.
cool. I didn't expect that much action.
Mm-mm.
But just the logistics behind it, it's that's like a pilot in broad daylight saying they can't see the runway.
Yeah.
100%.
So there's no justifying that in my head. It's just bad storytelling. It's bad leading to events. It's an easy out. We want to get them down to one
it's a lot of
dragon.
easy outs in this season as a whole. They
So-
definitely want to get it down to one dragon because then it's not as big of a threat. We'll get into the dragon baby theory in a little bit.
So their best episode so far, I think, has been episode 2, where
2
it's
was
just
my favorite.
in the north.
100%.
Yeah.
They
2 was
just
my
in the
favorite.
north.
5 should be good, though.
I hope.
5 should be very good. I think 5 and 6 are going to be fine. I think 4 there's a lot of
But,
problems with 4
so
because
here's
they
my
wrapped
problem.
up people's stories.
Here's my problem. 5 and 6 could. So wait. So do you think Ari's done?
No.
No.
So whose stories are wrapped up?
Sam,
Tormund.
Gilly, Tormund, Ghost.
All right. So
But do we really think that Tormund's not showing back up?
Yes.
He might.
I think they
not.
gave him
'Cause I
in
think
the
they
Ride
gave
of the
him a good
Sunset.
farewell.
Yeah.
I think
I
Ghost.
just feel like
might.
that's not a way for Tormund to go
I'm
out.
surprised
If that-
Sam's done.
If that's how Ghost. Well, I'm not
Dude,
surprised. Sam.
fucking, how do you not pet your dog goodbye?
It's fucking ridiculous.
But Sam, my reason is because Sam can verify the throne thing.
Bran can.
Yeah, but
And Sam's not needed. Well, all they got to do is they'll just fucking show
Yeah,
up.
Sam's the what? Lord of House Tarly now?
Yeah, Sam will just they'll
That's
pop
not a
on
maester.
over to House
He was
Tarly.
never. He's not a
well,
maester.
he's in the process of maester.
Nah,
he's part of the
he's
Night's
not
Watch.
gonna go back.
I don't
Can
even
you?
think
Well,
he
he's
earned a
part
chi-
of the Night's Watch still.
I don't even think he earned a link.
What Night's
he
Watch?
Yeah, the wall's got a hole in it.
There is no Night's Watch anymore.
They're probably
all
rebuilt the
fucking
Night's
dead.
Watch.
And what are they watching against?
I guess at this point, nothing. Yeah.
You don't need to watch Night's Watch.
Snow.
So I think he just Jon Snow just gives up the throne and just like Maester Aemon did, because he would have been king, but he gave it up to go to the Night's Watch. and then he.
But you
just
don't need
goes,
Night's Watch
But he
anymore.
just goes north, same way. And he just said lines like Master Aemon said them. He's the next Master Aemon.
Yeah, I don't think he ends up on the throne.
No, and I think he gets either. There's two ways this goes. He either dies, or he gives it up. He doesn't want to be king, and if he ends up king, then it's all a joke. Like they fucked it up.
He's the last
That's-
person who wants
Jon
to be king.
Snow ending this show being king is
He would
when
be
I
a
will
terrible king.
is when I will openly say, "All right, producers, people who are doing this show, you got it wrong. You
Yeah.
fucked this up."
And these people like invested so much into this, and another reason why I'm like angry about the pacing is because they made us wait 2 years for this season, and it feels rushed.
for things that don't seem well put together.
Yeah,
Where they're just throwing like
there's things they do really well, and then there's like little things, but they're little things that are big to the plot, like the losing the dragon.
it's like
It's just, you know what it is? A lot of the things are just not like. And look, I know it's a fantasy show and all that kind of shit, but there's so many things that are just not logical that happen.
not logical in the way that it's tied together.
Yeah, like
Not like it's like, oh my god, these dragons are flying.
yeah, no.
I get that.
It's just like really, like we go back to we've said it 5 times already. You can't see the fucking dragons,
It's like
and like Ghost. We see Ghost for what 14 seconds
That's
total.
CGI.
But like
But
he runs
still,
in, he runs
Ghost
into the
is-
battle, and then we don't see him again. And then he shows up, and he's all dicked up.
And then they're like, all right, see
like,
it, Ghost,
you
you're
can't-
going to the north.
You can't give me anything. So it's for me, it's like the end of a Scooby Doo episode. It's like, oh hey, yeah, well while we were walking around the house, we found this sock, and then we realized it was Old Man Burley. Like, yeah, I get it, but like, you've spent so much time building this world. I don't want you to just walk into a room at the right time and notice that this thing is there, and that's how you figure everything out. Like, oh yeah, we just happened to fly over Euron Greyjoy's fleet and didn't see it.
Yeah.
And Dany just
Didn't
happened.
expect anything to be
They
there.
just happened to forget that they had just said, "Hey, fucking watch out for this fleet."
Yeah.
Oh, slipped my mind. Whoops.
Do you think like Varys turns on Dany at all?
I think he turns
think
on
he's going
everybody.
to.
But the thing is, Varys turns on Dany. The problem with Varys turning on Dany is that Varys always backs somebody else when he turns on the first person.
So he's not going to back.
He's going to back
Cersei.
John.
But the problem with Varys turning on Dany to back Jon is that Jon's not going to back Jon.
Yeah, John wants no part of it.
So like you're backing somebody who doesn't want it, so you're setting yourself up for failure. Varys could die. I'm all right with it.
I got something. It was sent to me in a group text by this dude Joey Garrett. You would know this because it's in the books. Spoiler from the books. In the books, the Golden Company are known for never breaking a contract
Yep.
until they find out there's a possible Targaryen coming to the Iron Throne. The Golden Company was started by half a Targaryen.
Yes.
So maybe if Captain Strickland finds out he has 2 Targaryens who could potentially be the king and queen, he might break his contract with Cersei.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Because then she's fucked.
Oh yeah, it's all she's got. Can we also
Because
talk
she's got
about
what's left of the Lannister army.
Can we just talk real fast about how the guy who's running the Golden Company is Harry Strickland, and he sounds like he should be selling you insurance. Of all the names on that show,
Harry Strickland.
it's like, oh yeah, here's Tyrion Lannister, and here's Daenerys Targaryen, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, and by the way, Harry
Yeah,
Strickland's over there in the
here's,
corner.
here's Tormund Giantsbane.
Yeah,
Speaking of Tyrion, character
Fuck
development,
him,
he has
dude.
taken a huge step back.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's a dummy.
he's being very like I like Tyrion.
Being
and
very cautious.
I want Tyrion to be on the throne, to be 100% honest.
He's
but,
so naive to think his sister cares about anything.
yeah,
Like
I
when he
don't-
has that thing, like the talk, like, oh, for your children. She don't give a fuck about her kids.
no, she does.
She doesn't.
Yes,
she
that's
doesn't
the
care.
one
She
redemptive
does
quality
love
of
kids.
Cersei is
But
her children.
She doesn't care.
She loves her children.
I don't think she does.
That's like the
I think she
one
loves
arc.
power more than her kids.
but
I think at this point, maybe.
So here's the problem with answering that question
'Cause she
is
doesn't
that
have
her
kids
kids
anymore?
gave her power. Do you know what I
Give it-
mean? So like she had power through Joffrey, she had power through Tommen, so it's like they kind of go hand in hand. So what happens here is she does love both. If she has this kid and it's a boy, she's queen regent. The boy eventually becomes king, but she still has all the power. So it's like a win-win for her. You know what I mean? Like she can't
Yeah, you think she makes it out of the series?
No, she's got
No,
to
I think she's got to die. Yeah,
Part of me thinks that she's
because she
fucking-
won't give.
unless she wins the throne.
Dude, part of me's thinking she wins the throne. HBO just turns
But that
around
means
and goes,
that.
fuck
But that.
you.
Yeah, but that means she's had the throne the entire.
And if that's the
series.
case, and she kills off all the Starks and all the Targaryens and all that shit, then I'm better with that than I am with like Jon getting it.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have
That's
Cersei
a
than
that's a
Jon.
better Game of Thrones
Right?
ending. We've all been saying these people are going to be on the throne. Hey, guess what? The person who's been on the throne this entire time is keeping it the entire time.
makes sense.
She played the game better.
And she
Either
said
you
that
win
to
or you
Ned
die.
in season 1.
Yeah.
Either you win or you die.
Yeah.
So I don't. Episode 5. What do you think? What happens?
I think episode 5 is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are dying.
I think 5 is going to be like
What we
The
thought
main-
3 was going to be.
where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
As
Which
far
I
as people
enjoy.
die. As
People
far as
die,
people
yeah,
die.
yeah,
hopefully they
Main
fight
character.
I think there's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
action. I think there's going to be a lot of cool effects, and there's going to be good storytelling. And I think
I think that we're going to see some Harry Strickland just doing Harry Strickland type things.
Hopefully they fight during the day.
because
They
they,
are.
will, they're in King's Landing.
That would be nice.
I don't think we're going to get a boring episode. I don't think we're going to get which all these episodes have to me have
No, they're
not
not
been
boring.
boring.
No, they're not boring.
But it's what we've always said.
But they're like,
They're
they
head
make you really think
scratchers.
like, what the fuck are they
Yeah.
doing?
It's what RP and I have always said about like going to see a Star Wars movie because we're like nerds in that regard. It's like you walk out and you're like, yeah, I just watched a Star Wars movie. So like when you leave like when you're watching it,
It's like
and then when
Last
you
Jedi.
leave, you're
Yeah.
like real hype about it because you waited years and it came out, and then you're like, yeah, it's cool. And then you think back on it later, and you're like, well, that kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some of that just didn't make much sense.
Yeah, I got to watch this past episode twice. I watched it Sunday night and then watched it with the wife on Monday.
When I watched it, I was like, I thought that
I
was
was
really
good with
good.
it on
I was
Monday.
like,
I thought it
this
was
is
good,
really
and then
good.
the second time around, I'm like I couldn't. I was analyzing it too much. Like
you
when
know
you
things
watch
are
it the
gonna
first
happen,
time,
yeah.
you're just enjoying watching Game of Thrones because
Yeah.
you've been waiting, a week for this
Like-
episode.
That's why I
and all the
watched it
theories.
twice.
But then when you watch it the second time, you're like, wait, this doesn't make any fucking sense. How does she not see fucking Euron's boats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
Well,
How do
that
you-
I knew from
how do
that
you-
I had that thought from the beginning.
how do you not?
I didn't though. Like I didn't think about that in the beginning.
I didn't think
'cause
about that,
was
but
more like,
we said out loud. Why does she
go
fly
around?
behind them?
Yeah.
well, yeah, we did say that.
Yeah.
And also like
Why don't you pet your dog?
Yeah, pet your
that-
fucking dog.
they said they chalked that up to CGI.
They said it was
Enough.
CGI and it wouldn't have looked. No, not that it was too much money. They said it wouldn't have looked real if they hadn't pet the dog because the dog wasn't real. And they
Yeah.
thought that they got the same emotion across. Like I would have been all right with him going over and like kneeling down next to the dog and like talking to
And
him
saying
without
goodbye.
touching him.
Yeah.
Without touching him, it would have been all right. But looking at him across the courtyard, giving him like a head nod, like he's your boy in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Fuck
fucked up.
that.
Yeah,
I thought that dog
Ghost
fucking
is-
watched you while you were dead.
yeah.
In case you forgot, John.
So that was that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the scene between at the end and King's Landing. That I thought that was really good. I thought it was very intense. And when Missandei said Dracarys, I was like,
I like that.
Oh, yeah,
scene.
burn
I
that
fucking
mother-
like
awesome.
scene.
burn
Yeah.
that shit to the
I
fucking
did like
ground.
that scene.
and that's why I think she will pull the Mad Queen and there we go.
Yeah,
Set
I
that
hope
shit
she
on
does.
fire. I think maybe what
I've
if
been
there's no
calling-
throne the
I've
rule
been
at the
saying
end of the
that
series?
I've been saying she should have been doing that for fucking seasons. Just go in there. You got 3 fucking dragons. Go in there.
But
burn these
well,
motherfuckers.
she
to
got
the
one
ground.
dragon.
I
right?
But I'm saying,
understand. I do
A
understand.
couple seasons ago, she had 3.
Yeah, she
could
could
do
have.
whatever the fuck she
I
wanted.
understand the other side of the argument. Though.
Me too. Oh, I get it completely.
So that's like I'm not like mad that she did it. I don't think that she made a mistake necessarily, but now her back's against the wall, so it's like fuck it, go do it. Prior to this, it was like, yeah, you don't want you if you rule a bunch of people and they hate your fucking guts, what's the point? Like you're not ruling anybody. Somebody's going to rise up against you in that situation. Because
She's
you're
gotta
putting
burn
them,
something
you're,
down,
you're
though.
starting. So now, yeah, just burn down the Red Keep. Who cares? So,
Theories.
dude, big theory floating around. Not happy about it. There's
Me either.
more dragons.
If 2 dragons, 2 little baby dragons
That-
pop out,
3.
I will fucking be
3.
furious.
That's the easiest out. Then I'm reading that apparently there's rumors that there's dragon eggs in the crypts in Winterfell.
What?
Why the fuck would they be there?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
And then they're like, yeah, the crypts have been very pivotal and key location. I was like, dude, I'm so sick of people on the internet just fucking running their mouth on the internet because they can say whatever the fuck they want and people aren't just going to shut them down right away.
Like someone on a podcast.
They can post it. No, because we can say whatever the fuck we want and people aren't going to shut us down either. But we also just don't come on here and spit nonsense because we can spit nonsense. Yeah. And the 13 people that listen to this show, or if they don't like it, are going to tell us that
30.
we're fucking idiots.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Unless you're the guy that works with Chris, and we're sorry that we rush things.
Sorry, Jim.
If that theory happens where she has babies, the dragon had babies while he was away in season 5 or 4.
That's
I mean,
they don't.
They didn't even hint at it.
Yeah, delete a little bit, like a little credence to that. You know, the fucking dragon rolled,
yeah.
and they didn't know where the fuck he went.
Okay.
So like, they never really explained it.
Who's fucking that dragon?
No, they don't.
I don't know how dragons
they're
have
So
babies.
here's the
asexual.
thing. All right. So now this is another issue that I have.
Dragons.
The dragons,
gender
they're
fluid.
in the like the one of the books or the new book or somewhere it says that there's the dragons can be like asexual, they can be gender fluid, they can be like all these things, which is fine. But if you fucking come into me in the second to last episode of this,
Ew, someone's gonna come in on.
I wish, and in the second to last episode of this series, what are you? 71 episodes deep,
Yeah.
and you say, "Oh, by the way."
Fucking plot twist.
Forgot to tell you,
Yeah.
these guys could have babies by themselves. Here's 3 more.
I mean, look,
Also,
it would be dumb as shit, but like, I'm all about dragons, man.
no, I'm all about direwolves, and I'm
dragons.
still
It's not. I don't think
still
that's
arguing
Nah.
that if Nymeria and the wolves show up, and this is my argument for this, and it's not happening. I know it's not happening. It's a hoop dream. But George R.R. Martin, that piece of shit who can't finish a book, is also influenced by J.R.R. Tolkien. And if you guys aren't familiar with J.R.R. Tolkien,
I don't know who that is.
he wrote The Hobbit,
happening. Lord of the Rings.
and he wrote the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And Chris, since you're not really sure who he is, I'm going to let you know that he also finished the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Oh. Yes, which is
What's that like?
I couldn't tell.
I mean, I'm not going to read the books because I really have difficulties
Yes,
reading.
But you also like books that aren't finished if you're going to read.
Yeah.
Which is why you're into George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than like reading like 3 chapters of a book and be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, hey.
I don't even know what happens.
Wait, oh my god, I think I'm almost at the climax. You know what? Let's stop here.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So
That's how I made babies.
in the Hobbit and then at the end of Lord of the Rings, spoiler alert for people who haven't been around for the last 70 years,
Oh, I'm going to put earmuffs on.
the Eagles show up. And they're always like
The
saving
Philadelphia
grace.
Eagles?
Yes, Carson Wentz.
No.
I've
Glenn Fry from the dead and Don Henley.
Don Henley.
Don
And they
Henley?
play a concert, and that's how everything
Sauron's
sounds.
like, wow.
I think I'm in the Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings.
wow, we are at the Hotel California, aren't we?
Listen, what a lovely
But
place.
Eagles always show up, and they're like the saving grace. So I think Nymeria and the Wolves show up and kind of tilt the scales in this episode on Sunday. And if they don't, then before the
How
episode
much can the Wolves really do,
for
though?
the episode 6 prediction, I'm
I don't
going
know.
to make this
but how many wolves are
same
there?
prediction.
There's
Nymeria's got a pack.
She had a pack, yeah.
How many's in a pack?
So in the books, Nymeria's
like
got like
9.
a roaming pack of like a wild, like an army of wolves. In the
Army of Wolves is a lot different
That's
than
what
like,
I mean. Like an army.
4 wolves.
Nymeria shows up, army of wolves, and then like when John looks back, Ghost is just like at the top of the hill, just sitting there, and he gives him a little dog, a direwolf head nod right back, like yeah, fucker, who's got your back still, even though you can't pet me and I'm missing an ear.
That would be sweet.
I think he's going to
It's not gonna happen.
I think
gonna
John's
happen.
going to go join them in the north anyway. I think they're going to
Maybe-
reunite it.
I like that.
Maybe Arya and Clegane on their way down run into the Wolves.
they could run into the wolves again. That
And
could
they
bring
follow-
Nymeria. 'cause
they
that's-
follow 'em
How
down.
would you feel if Arya died in the next episode?
I'm alright with it.
Oh yeah, I can live with it.
I feel like it would be very shocking.
I don't think she will.
No, she's making it to the end.
Yeah, I don't think she dies. They've built too much to her
I'm good with
character
Arya.
to kill her.
I'm good with Arya
But
being queen.
they
She
gave
won't
her-
be, but I'm good with
but
her being.
They gave
you
her
know,
the.
here's the thing, though.
She killed the Night King.
They build up Arya a lot, but you go back to the first season, they built Ned up a lot too, and everyone's like, Ned's going to be a major character. Oh my God, he has no head
Yeah,
now.
but we're also in
you
the
know,
last
You know
season.
who wrote that season?
George R.R. Martin.
Yes.
J.R. Tolkien?
No,
Oh.
now you're mixing up your guys.
Oh.
So here's the thing:
George R. R.
is
Martin
this
a scumbag.
George R.R. Martin's
No, he
is
already said he
any
wasn't.
I heard he's overweight.
part?
He is overweight and he
Oh.
probably has diabetes, but
Hopefully.
he openly said that he's like not happy with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, finish your fucking books then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
well,
he has
there
no
you
room to
go.
talk.
Yeah.
I could sit here and bitch all I want.
That's why it doesn't make
that
sense.
motherfucker doesn't
If you're
have
not
any
happy with
rheumatism.
the series, you should have fucking finished
Yeah,
your books.
Finish it, asshole.
Somebody else finish
Or
your story.
At the very minimum, tell them how it ends.
Well, no, he
Well,
did.
He gave them like the. He gave them like the.
and they
end.
just said, "Fuck you, we're doing it
No,
our
no,
way."
he gave them like the. This is
The blueprint.
This is what this not like play by play. This is how it ends. Like this is who ends up on the throne. This person dies, or like this person. Like they kind of pushed him in. They gave that. He gave them like the strings, and he let them tie it together however they wanted to.
And they done it. They did a great job through 7. For 7 was them. 6 was, and 6 and 7 were them. Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah,
they
fucking
did
awesome.
I think
7,
they did
I
a good
like
job.
Luke and
7.
the Lannister army. That
7
fucking
when-
scene was just amazing. That's probably my favorite scene in the whole
The
entire
last
show.
episode of
Just
the-
watching Jamie and Bran shit their pants when they hear the fucking dragon.
How about
they're
Bronn
like, oh,
showing up?
fuck.
Dude, I hated that scene.
That's what he
Yeah.
said. A lot of people are gonna hate. They're gonna hate him.
No, I didn't hate Bronn. I hated that scene.
Yeah, I didn't
You
like.
say the scene.
Yeah, it was a weird.
How does he
scene.
just show up in Winterfell?
Nice, Braun.
I
But
don't.
still, you just show up in Winterfell.
I don't like
They
that.
have gates. Someone's got to open the fucking gate.
He could probably just go through.
Nah, I
Said I'm here to see. I'm here. I'm befriend the Tyrians.
They would have went and got Tyrion.
Yeah, it's not even that Braun was there. I
It's not
liked
like, oh,
Bronn.
okay.
I liked Braun. I liked that he was playing both sides. Braun was doing Braun.
You knew that's what he was going to do.
Yeah, Braun was doing Braun.
He's
things,
going to leverage everyone to make himself.
and I thought
better.
it was awesome. I just hated the way the scene played out.
Very
I did
aloof,
like him
very
punching
aloof.
Tyrion in
Not
the face.
aloof. It was too aggressive. That wasn't Braun for me. Braun would have sat there, kind of like lackadaisical,
So
with
I'm gonna
the
fucking
with the
shoot you.
crossbow. Like, yeah, listen, I'm going to shoot you fuckers unless you offer me something better.
We probably could have done without him punching Tyrion in the face.
I
As
could've.
much as I liked it, I liked when he
I liked
shot.
him shooting next to Jamie. I was good with that.
Because Jamie was like, because that's like, oh shit, man, he's fucking serious. But it was too short.
I thought it was a pretty long scene.
No, it was. I don't know what it is about the mood of the scene or something about the scene. Just
It was-
didn't
it
sit
felt
right
like
with
the-
me.
to me,
it seemed like
to
you
me,
just
the
threw it
mood-
in there.
Yeah.
To me, the mood felt very light.
Yeah, it didn't sit right with me. That's that scene.
Yeah, like wouldn't if you were Jamie
And that director who
Tyrion,
handles this, he's handled the show before. He did episode 1 and 2, and he did 4. So he handles scenes well. This episode just did not.
it didn't flow.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Braun scene, I don't think he does well with Braun. If that's the case, I don't know who the director is or how many episodes he's done.
It's,
The Braun scene in
David
episode.
Nutter, I think his name.
The Braun scene in episode 1 was like for me too. With the girls,
He's
and
there
then
for,
Cersei
like,
shows up,
really
and I
quick.
was like, "What? This is like." It was just a weird
They
scene.
can't be in the same room. Do you know that?
Who?
Bronn and Cersei. They dated and they had a really nasty breakup. So it's like in their contracts they can't be in
actor
a
and
scene
actress?
together. Yeah.
they were in
Lena
the same room when
Headey
she.
and
I
him.
know
Yeah,
because
Qyburn
Qyburn
came in and
it.
said it.
Yeah.
Oh
No shit.
Yep.
Look at that.
That's cool.
RP with a little nugget,
Yeah.
little gossip nugget.
Yeah,
This
wow.
podcast should be called Previously Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously, this
sounds-
podcast
Oh.
brought to you by TMZ.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Do we have any bold predictions for episode
oh,
5?
wait, let's talk about. There's a couple other things that we
Oh.
missed.
Yeah,
here.
stop rushing it. See, Jim, you
Yeah.
were right. You were right, Jim.
I didn't know there's more shit
He's
to talk
rushing it.
about.
We talked. Well, we did. We talked about the dragon, right? We talked about Jon Snow possibly going to the north. I want to take some time because this is the big fucking problem that people are having with this show. And talk about Azor Ahai. So, for those of you who don't know, Azor Ahai is like the legendary hero. He saves the world from the darkness that overlays the world with this hero sword, and Melisandre like kind of preached that it's the second coming of Azor Ahai, and then Beric Dondarrion could have been Azor Ahai, and Jon could be Azor Ahai, and people are like bitching and very upset that Azor Ahai is not going to become has not come to fruition. My understanding is that you guys have been waiting quite some time for this Messiah of yours to come back. And so these people who believe in Azor Ahai keep waiting for Azor Ahai to come back. And these people who keep thinking that like Jon Snow or someone else is Azor Ahai don't necessarily understand that this is the basis of that religion. Like at the end of the day, it's a religion. And so people are like getting butthurt that is, oh, well, they were supposed to be Azor Ahai. Azor Ahai didn't happen. This isn't Azor Ahai. Why aren't they Azor Ahai? And it's just like, because that's a religion. And I don't really, like, it boggles my mind why people fight this so much.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like,
You're so smart, Bob.
thanks.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Everything that was referenced before doesn't have to happen, or come
Yeah,
to
it's like
fruition.
it's, and I know that it's a religion that features magic. Like, she definitely lit the Dothraki's sickles on fire with this like
That was
magic
fucking
that she
awesome.
does. It was sweet,
That was awesome.
but it doesn't mean that this dude's coming back that like may have never existed to begin with.
Well, and he needed in the Zor High, he needs the Lightbringer.
Well,
the
had
sword.
yeah. So the sword is the Lightbringer. So then there's this rumors that like, oh, it's the
Jon will
widow's
kill-
wail, or it's this and
Yeah,
that.
Jon will kill Daenerys. Or,
Yeah, which
but
I
the whole
get.
point of the Lightbringer is to kill the Night King.
Yes,
So
it's to end the darkness. The darkness is ended.
yeah, the darkness is gone. Arya
Now
fucking
it's
did that shit.
This right now is a fight. This is politics now.
Yes. So
So
let's
Azor
just
Ahai
drop
should not.
Azor Ahai.
If Azor Ahai does show up now, I'm mad about it. Because
'cause-
Azor Ahai doesn't
Hey,
show up.
dickhead, you should have been here
when the Night
fucking
King is there.
3 seasons ago, so we didn't lose a
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, but when people are just fighting because they don't like each other and they have different last names, that's when Azor Ahai's like, yeah, here's a flaming sword. Let's fuck shit up.
Makes
What,
sense.
what do you guys think happens in 6? 5.
5 or
Five.
6?
5.
6,
Five.
3, 76ers.
Yeah, there it is. Not that episode 5. I apologize.
Episode 5. I think it's just like I said, a bloodbath. People are gonna die, and I think the last episode, like it'll lead into the last episode with our main players.
Who do we think dies in season 5 or episode 5?
5.
Grey Worm is one of them.
I think
I don't
Grey-
think Grey Worm's dying, man.
I think Grey Worm goes.
I
Like,
think Grey Worm's gonna fuck some people
I think
up.
Grey Worm goes like balls to the wall, like spear in his chest, still kill like 4 people, and like I think
And then
he'll
dies
die, but I
that
think he
way.
dies and like
Shot in the dark. Tyrion.
Hopefully.
I still love
I don't
Tyrion.
see
I fucking hate
I
him,
don't
dude.
see Tyrion
He
dying.
gives the worst advice, and he gets played
I don't
by
think
his
so.
sister over and over again.
I think his advice to Danny has always been good. He's always with the best interest.
Nah, the last episode was bad advice.
You think just going up to Cersei and being like, "Oh, you're kids and you're better than this."
He's changed. He should know better, especially when she turned her back on him and said, "We're not bringing your people to the north, bringing her army to the north." And
Yeah,
help
I
fight the Night
think
King. He
that's
should have
my thing.
known.
When they never showed
You
up.
should have never trusted her.
When
to begin
only
with.
Jaime showed up
it's
to
Cersei.
Winterfell.
Like gloves off. Fuck you.
Yeah, Tyrion. That's when he needs to get the "fuck you" mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I get like the not wanting to, and it's not that he trusts Cersei. It's that he's trying to appeal to her in some way where that Dany doesn't have to murder innocent people to get the throne, so that he can protect Dany's claim and Dany's rule. So like I do get that, but he has come off as soft in recent episodes.
Yeah. And he was probably one of the more complex and well-written characters.
Especially like with Varys, the conversation with Varys about Jon.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, Dany's my queen. Tyrion prior, I feel like, was more of a Varys character. Like, all right, what's
best for
what's
me?
best for me?
Yeah. I don't know.
He said he did talk about marrying them. And Varys said no.
He wants
That's
that.
how it rolls.
Davos has been
North.
saying that shit since day one, yo.
I want
Davos said marry these motherfuckers in the beginning when they met in Dragonstone.
yeah, I wanted Tyrion, a little Tyrion Sansa love connection.
Oh, a pound fest.
Yeah,
That'd be awkward.
I've
to
liked
watch.
the interaction between them.
I'd have too. I thought that it
I
was
think
fitting
part of me
for their
thinks
history.
if he don't die, they kind of like maybe end up together or something.
yeah, I'm alright.
Maybe.
with that.
I mean, she always said you're the best of them.
Tyrion, Warden of the North.
Could be.
That'd
Then
be
you have
cool.
a
He has to
Lannister
lose.
and a Stark running Winterfell.
Dude's gotta lose winter or gotta lose hand to the king at this point, right?
You don't trust him at all.
Yeah, he's been catching L's for quite some time. So now that's a good question. So like, say Dany gets the throne, who's the hand?
What do you take it from Tyrion? That's kind of an issue.
Well,
I mean, he helped her
I
get
would.
to where she is.
Yeah.
yeah, but he also made a couple shitty decisions
But,
along the
but
way.
if
That
she
happens.
wins the throne, she won the throne with him next to her. That's the equivalent of winning the championship with a bad assistant coach. Do you fire that assistant coach in the offseason?
Yeah, you fire everybody.
Fair enough.
That's what the corporate world says, Bob.
Yeah, you're right.
Fire everyone.
I just
All right, so we got Grey Worm dying, right?
Yes.
Maybe Tyrion, probably
I
not.
think it would be
Do
the
you think
biggest
episode
shock.
5 is Clegane Bowl?
Yeah, definitely.
That's this episode?
Oh yeah,
But that means
absolutely.
that the
'Cause
mountain and
Mountain.
Arya are
I
in
think-
I can
King's
see
Landing.
Clegane Bowl being episode 6, like, in the Red Keep. Like,
I think they kill each other.
I'm alright
I think they
with that.
beat each other to death.
I think that
Like
he...
they both die at the
I
same
think
time.
that he beats the Hound into like a lifeless mass, and the Hound still catches him with like one last
Like the Viper.
"fuck you."
Yeah.
Like what happened with.
Kind of, but this time it's effective.
Well, I mean,
Qyburn's not there to fix it. I'll put it that
But like,
way.
no, I mean like.
it's just as
No, I mean-
effective
no.
with no
Yeah.
backup.
No, I mean like when
I could do without. I could do with Kyber
when
dying too.
Oberyn.
I know what you're saying, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but the Mountain dies this time is what I meant, and then
Yeah.
I understand what Chris was saying too.
So we got
Clegane Bowl,
Clegane Bowl.
episode 6.
We got Grey Worm.
Episode 5 or 6. You think?
I think it's.
I
gonna
think
be
it's
6.
it might start in 5 and then 6. I think 5's going to spill into 6.
I don't
You
think.
can't do an hour and a
I
half on who
don't-
wins the throne.
I actually, I think there's going to be a resolution at the end of 5. Where like, okay, we have our main players in play.
I don't-
6 will be for the throne, because I think the one thing Game of Thrones has always done is that, at least in my mind, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, please tell me.
We
Each
will.
episode is a complete episode where there's a kind of like a little cliffhanger or a tease into the next, but it's not like that
not like
episode
Walking
doesn't
Dead
stand
where,
its
like-
own.
Yeah, but I can see episode 5.
I mean, if it does it, I'm fine because it's the big battle.
yeah,
It's
I can
it.
see episode 5 being like a battle outside of King's Landing, and maybe Clegane and
Pascal Siakam go fuck himself too. By the way.
Clegane and the Mountain like see each other across the
Like, tease
battle or stuff like that, and then
And
I
just
think-
go after each
I
other.
think that 6 is kind of spilling into King's Landing. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and then so like yes, like you said, like it still kind of stands as like a start, middle, finish.
So here's
But the battle doesn't end in episode 5.
So
I
here's
think
the
it kind of
thing.
has to spill into 6.
if they fight outside of King's Landing,
Basically, where
they have all those fucking sniper things.
where Dany and her 6
People.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
Unsullied
though. Here's
All
the thing
6
with
of
the,
her
with the,
Unsullied.
with the yeah, boy, she's fucked. The problem with that is if they fight outside, what are they gonna do? Shoot them at their own people?
yeah, you're killing your own soldiers.
You're killing your own soldiers.
No, I mean you're right.
That's poor.
So like, maybe they're all for show.
I think they're just for dragons.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
can
you
lo-
know,
yeah,
they
they're
attack
gonna,
the
they got
ships.
they got
You
all the
can-
time to build the fucking armor for Drogon.
Yeah,
So he's gonna fly in with armor because armor.
Thrones.
if Gendry builds the armor,
Who fits? Who's the tailor for a fucking dragon?
Gendry.
Gendry's the tailor for the dragon. Got it.
Yeah, come
Makes
on.
a ton of
That's
sense.
day one.
But they,
Especially
that's,
now that
that's
he-
a total Game of Thrones thing, though. Like to
Especially,
build some fucking
especially
armor.
now that he can cool
I'd be okay with that.
I would not.
dragon
with it.
for the armor.
Yeah, give them something
I'm
like
alright
around
with
like
I'm
around
alright
the,
with like
the
a
chest.
necklace. That's the best I can get
Yeah.
after. A necklace
Like that, I'm
with
not
like a
talking.
sheet of metal in
I'm
front
not
of it.
talking about like
Robo
a
Dragon?
helmet, yeah, like a helmet or shit on the wings. I'm like talking about
A
something for
body
the chest.
piece. Yeah. I don't know.
like a necklace.
I think-
Gendry's got a lot of tiers that he can use to cool the steel.
Yeah.
So that's
There's no
fine.
way that
he's got a lot of free
that
time on his
Danny
hands. now.
dies, right?
There's no way Gendry's not. He hasn't hung himself in Winterfell.
In this episode-
Yeah, he probably was doing
In
it
this
while he was
episode-
masturbating as well.
Yeah.
In this episode, Danny, John, Cersei, they all make it.
All right, so what if the big twist is that Dany dies this episode?
I'd be alright with it.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
But what's how?
your
Like,
payoff?
why is she
Why
dying?
is she
What's the payoff
dying?
to
She
it?
has to take. Oh, it has to be like a big swing at Cersei. Like maybe swing and a miss.
All right, but so then the problem becomes if she takes a big swing at Cersei and misses,
It would be pretty cool.
then
if they
Cersei
shoot this-
wins.
if
Yeah,
they
Cersei wins because John doesn't. I mean,
Well,
John
he does,
don't
but
want
he
it.
doesn't want her on the throne.
John doesn't care
John
about
don't
who's on the
care.
throne. The North doesn't care about who's on the throne.
Does John ever fight against
North-
John's only fighting this fight for Dany.
Yeah, yeah.
The North has already said that they
they're
don't
their
have
own
nothing to
thing.
do with it. They're
North-
they're on their
The
own.
North is their thing.
So John, at the end of the day, he don't give a fuck about.
in case
the
you
throne.
guys forgot this too, the North remembers.
They do remember.
I do remember.
Yeah, I mean, so we got Grey Worm dying, maybe Tyrion.
So if
Dany
Danny dies, then
probably
nothing.
not.
If Danny dies,
I
then
think
nothing matters.
See, I could see Jamie dying.
Jamie could die this episode.
Yeah.
Arya's not dying.
No.
All the main.
Gendry's staying.
I don't think we're gonna
Gendry, I don't think he's
lose
fighting.
Yeah, he's probably not.
I think he's still in
big-
Winterfell.
Big.
Do we
God, I
think
still
the
we're
second
gonna
son
lose one.
show up or Dorne shows up?
I don't think the second sons are.
Dorne maybe.
Dorne might show up
How
just to get
big-
that. What's the broad's name?
What problem? There's a lot
In
of
the fucking who
the Sand
killed
Snakes?
fucking Marcella?
The
she
Sand
kissed-
Snakes. I don't know.
What's her name?
I forget exactly.
RP. What's
What-
her name?
Who's?
One
RP's
of
sending
Oberyn-
dick pics
one of
right now.
Oberyn's girls.
His
Sand
wife.
Snakes?
His,
It
his-
wasn't. He has like mistresses. He's got like not mistresses, but
the
he,
one
like,
with the kids.
yeah, they
the
all,
three
like-
daughters.
Yeah.
I forget her name, but you think Dorne comes for her? because they kind of just took her.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I feel like you can't just end it with like Dorne's like nothing.
Like all the Sands.
Danny
right?
needs.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Danny.
That's all Oberyn's kids. Because they're all bastards, so their last names are Sand. Because he just sleeps with.
But
whoever.
what was the mother's name? The one who's sitting in the jail at King's Landing. Remember she kissed
I know
Marcella?
who you're talking
No, I know who you're
about.
talking
I
about.
forget her name.
What's it matter? She ain't showing up.
No, but she's still in the jail at King's Landing, so maybe
you
Dorne
think
shows
they're-
up
you
for
think
her.
they're really coming back for? Yeah, they're gonna fight just for that one broad though.
She was.
She's the queen.
She's like the queen of Dorne, dude. Well, not the queen, but whatever. The lady of Dorne, I
I feel like
guess.
they kind of chalked it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hilarious.
I
Look,
haven't seen her since episode 1, right?
Danny.
Is it
Danny.
Hilary?
I think so. Danny
'Cause
needs.
there's the
Danny
three
needs
Sands
bodies,
things,
dude.
too.
They said that
Yeah,
half
but who's going
half
to
the
Dorne to get those
Unsullied.
bodies? Who's going down there?
Do you
I
think they're
can
gonna?
see-
Yara?
Do you think they're gonna
Yara?
spend any time building up like the way they ended the last episode?
I can see
Building the
Sam.
army?
No, I can see
Oh,
it
I
being.
think-
I can
don't know.
see it being more like a Battle of the Bastards. Sansa
show up.
sends, and then it's like people from the Reach because Sam sent them when he got back, and it's like people from wherever. Maybe
Or it goes back to that.
maybe Jamie's not going. It's to
Maybe.
King's Landing. He's going to the Rock to try and bring more soldiers
Castelli
there. Like there's things going on that could be, but
Or Danny goes into it. Harry Strickland.
We have 2
Yeah,
hours.
yeah,
Finds
that's what
out.
can
We
change.
have 2 hours and 40 minutes left
Remaining.
of storytelling. There's going to be a lot that could happen. I don't know.
There's also, but at the same time, there's only so much that can happen.
Yeah.
Because if you're telling me that in the last 2 hours and 40 minutes of this show, they're going to introduce and explain and carry out ideas that are game changing to the entire end of the show,
No.
it doesn't make sense. Which is why the new dragon thing doesn't make sense.
No, that's not happening.
I'm not saying it's not happening because
I don't
I'm
want
not going
that.
to say it's not happening.
They've done a lot this season that
And
I said like they
here's
wouldn't
why-
never do. They wouldn't do that.
Here's
They
why I
wouldn't
think it
disrespect
could.
people
Yo,
like
here's
that.
the main reason why I think it really could happen, which I don't think it will. But she's got nobody. The Dothraki are gone. The
I don't
Unsullied are
think that's all
gone.
the Unsullied.
The
But I'm saying,
Yeah, but
there's
that,
half the
she did
Unsullied
have
are gone.
12 Unsullied, but I don't think that was all of them. I think
Not
that
all
was like
the-
Yeah, that's fine. But
They,
I mean,
they
you
still
throw
have
in
more Dothraki too.
not really.
They said she's got like 6,000 more, right?
Where?
She didn't bring that many over.
Yeah, they're
So all right. So I guess they
then-
come.
because they mentioned that in the episode.
Now,
All right.
yeah.
So, but still, they got 20,000 from the Golden Company, plus the Lannister army.
But the
Danny don't
Lannister-
have Danny don't have
the
20,000.
Lannister. Who's leading the Lannister army? This is my other problem. Like throughout this show, like battle strategy and like misconception or like deception and all that things, like they've been important. Like when Jamie loses at the Whispering Willow or whatever that place was called, where he loses to Rob because Rob sneaks up on him.
Yeah.
That was big. That strategy there. The Battle of Bastards, the strategy there when, like the people from
Vale.
the Vale show up late. It's game changing.
But going back to what I was my point.
I don't know
was-
who Harry Strickland is, except for a guy with a very normal name.
Yeah.
I don't know who's leading their
Extremely
army.
normal name.
So for them to like outmaneuver whoever Danny has doesn't make sense for me.
But that yeah, me neither. But the reason why I think that maybe there is the 3 dragons is because Danny's army is so depleted.
Yeah, which I understand, and I'm not.
I don't
saying,
think it's going to happen.
I'm not
but
saying it's-
that could be the logical reason of why they
Yeah.
introduced the 3.
And I'm not
dragons.
writing it off completely, but that's exactly what we were saying earlier, which is like, it's just such an easy cop out. Here's the solution for the happy ending. Fuck it, everyone Danny loved is dead, minus Jon and Drogon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
spoiler,
Danny's going to
spoiler
go.
alert: shit sucks sometimes. You gotta
Yeah.
deal with it. 3 magic dragons don't just show up to save,
That's
save
Game of
the day.
Thrones. Shit sucks.
That's the way that the fucking show works. That's why Ned's head got chopped off. You try to be a good person, you get fucked in the end.
Yep.
No,
Which
I
is why
definitely,
Danny's got to just go in there and say, all right, you got these things. Maybe, I don't even know. She just fucking flies in there and kills him with a dragon. Maybe something has to happen. How do you get rid of those gigantic spear things? That's the question.
You can light them on fire.
Yeah.
You just ride up the side and just hit that whole
Hit that whole
whole
thing.
line
they're
without getting
fucked.
shot.
I mean, how fast those things spin.
I mean, you have to take them
That's
up.
the
The
thing.
dragons showed that they can go high.
Yeah, I mean,
But
remember?
if
Yeah.
high coming down,
But you have to come
you're
because you don't know how far they can
but
rotate.
you're putting yourself in a position for all the other ones to shoot at you if you're coming down.
But how far?
Yeah,
can
but how do they?
rotate?
How much do they rotate? Do they rotate 360?
I'm assuming they at least rotate 180.
Up
which
and
then if
down?
I'm coming to one, the other one I'm on one of
But
them.
and
I'm
what's
on
the
one of their
rotation
angles.
going up?
If she can come
I
behind.
don't know, but when I'm
Come.
Nah. There's a lot. There's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah, there is a lot of.
Maybe
what-ifs.
she learned from Rhaegal dying.
By the way, I
Yeah.
want to talk about real fast because we got to wrap
like
this
come.
up.
She could just swing around King's Landing, come from behind. I mean, if the things don't spin around, he'd
Yeah.
come from behind.
I'm not a big fan of Amelia Clark's acting this season.
I've
Yes.
actually really liked it.
I feel like she makes the same face for every
I
situation.
liked her. I liked her in 4.
Angry.
But it's like angry, like pouty
I thought she was like
face.
pouty fierce when she was talking to John.
All right, so the phrase pouty fierce has never been used
It's
until tonight.
just coined it.
Yes.
She also looked extremely pissed off and started to get crazy.
Oh yeah, you saw
When-
total Mad Queen.
Yep.
The end of the
And-
episode.
No, when she's sitting, she's thinking Tyrion's turning against her. She's seeing that everybody's going to turn and vote and put their faith in John
Oh, you're talking about at the dinner.
at the dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when she tells
Very
tells
early.
John
Angry.
when she tells John when he goes we can live together, and she goes I just told you how we can live together.
Exactly.
And just stormed out.
But in that scene, like she looks at Tyrion and Tyrion's laughing with Jamie, and she's like,
Yeah,
He's gonna
I'm
turn
not
against
saying
me.
that she's
Yeah.
not doing like the like.
She's gonna get
She's not
dude.
portraying it.
That's a really good
I
point
just-
because that's the same thing that the Mad King thought. Everyone was turning against him, kill everybody. She could be thinking the same thing. I,
just
mean,
think
it's her
that she
fucking
makes the
dad.
same-
that's what they.
face for
That's how they. I interpreted that
Yeah.
scene.
I just think she makes the same face for every response. It's been bothering me. But I like the idea of her. If she goes crazy, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I would like.
I would be
like
cool
to see
with
her go
that.
berserk.
I would like to see her go crazy and end up on the throne. I think that
I'm
would be
good with
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I would like that.
I don't want a happy ending. I want her to burn up King's Landing and everything else. You know how they always
If they
cut
give us a good ending, I think all this
So
shit we're talking
they
about.
cut
is
back to that like vision the one time, and there's no roof on the Red Keep, and she's sitting on the throne, and everybody thought that was because it was like winter and stuff like that. I'm good with it being like because the Red Keep's on fire, like it's not snowing, it's ash.
That'd be cool.
'Cause
Yeah.
she burnt the whole fucking place
She
up.
said, "Fuck
and
it.
she's just sitting on the throne like I got it.
It's my fucking
Everybody's
throne."
fucking dead here, but I got it.
She's obsessed with, and then just rules no one because everyone's fucking
Everybody
dead.
else will be there.
And she just goes stir crazy and laughing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just King's Landing will be burned up.
Does that do you guys
She'll
think
have-
that there's still any of the
She'll have-
fire? What's that shit? That,
Wildfire now. She'll
a
have
lot of people were
support.
saying it. Oh, well then.
That's what Shane was saying last episode.
Yeah, I know. I was reading something too saying that they still got all the wildfire, but I think that was all used to blow up the sept.
She'll have support from Storm's End, because that's Gendry's spot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which he'll be. Yep, that was a smart move.
It was smart.
Yeah,
Alright.
she's not dumb. Do you want to end it with a couple
Yeah, let's get some tweets in here.
little Instagram-y comments? We'll start with this one. George, where are you? Latest season is bad writing. Bob, comments?
George is currently doing coke off of a stripper's ass somewhere, probably.
Allegedly.
Probably.
Probably,
Because
allegedly.
he certainly is not writing. Have I expressed on the show what my theory about George's writing?
No, but I have something that might help.
I've said
think so. Maybe.
you.
I think
talked to
you've
you about
mentioned
it.
your
I've mentioned
displeasure
to
with
you.
him.
I think that he is such a slow writer that the publishing company
Oh,
actually
yeah, yeah.
said you
You've
have to
mentioned that.
finish both books before we release one.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you have to finish the series before we'll put anything out because we're not giving you another 12-year fucking like
Well,
in between.
We can always go to this part is disappointing, anticlimactic, shit writing. Should have let George R.R. Martin finish his books.
What
Would
are
have
you
rather
waiting?
would have
6
rather
years?
waited 50 years for George R.R. Martin's ending than the abysmal one we're getting right now.
Do you know?
Ruin what once was and could have ended as the greatest show of all time. Which
You know what's
first of
crazy,
all,
though?
regardless how the show ends, it's still the greatest show of all time.
One of them.
What's crazy is you call it the greatest show of all time. The greatest show of all time would not be the greatest show of all time if you didn't start the greatest show of all time before George R. R. Martin finishes his books. Half of George R. R. Martin's book sales happened because the show existed. Like one
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have the success that the other one does without the two of them.
Yeah.
So it's It's not anybody's fault at HBO. It's George R. R. Martin. When did this show start? 2009, 2010?
I don't think it's an abysmal finish either. I think there's issues, but it's not high quality, but it's still
There's
good.
people that live for this. That's the problem.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
People
like,
have no lives.
When we express
Like
issues,
us.
they're like,
yeah.
for our issues, it's like, oh yeah, while we're on this podcast, I'm going to talk about the things I didn't like. For those people, it's like my week is ruined because this happened.
Yeah, they treat it like it's a sporting event.
Yeah.
Like episode 2 was one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones I think I've ever seen.
I think that might
And
be my
people
favorite
fucking
episode.
shit talk the hell
Exactly,
out of
because those people aren't smart.
it. Yeah, they don't
That was-
understand the
Because
whole
nobody
setup.
died.
Yeah,
That one was super well done.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. All right, I got 2 more.
All right.
If John is ended up on the throne, this
Cool.
series is canceled.
Wow,
it'll be
that's my
over.
favorite one ever. So if John has ended up, so first
This
off,
is where listen. I'm
that
not,
person definitely never
listen,
read the book 'cause
I've
they can't
stated
read.
I've stated multiple times that I can't read. I'm reading this word for word. If John is ended up on the throne, this series is canceled.
so that guy, yeah. So John has ended up on the throne. Genius.
Yeah.
I also like the so if John has ended up on the throne, at what point do you think John ended up on the throne? Is ended up on the throne, I
Yeah.
guess, because I don't want to go. I don't want to give him a real tense here. I got to stay with a fictional tense that doesn't exist. So between the two of you, what? There's 2 hours and 40 minutes left, right, RP?
Yeah.
And so time
They
frame.
cancel it at
I
2:43.
was gonna say time frame. How much time is left for them to cancel the show?
Hour and
asshole.
hour and 50 minutes maybe?
So you think he gets the throne this episode?
No, hour and 50. So
Oh, he
Oh,
gets
he-
it at an hour and 50.
Hour 50,
So they're
they
going to
cancel.
cancel the last 50 minutes of the show?
Because
That
they're not
makes
gonna, like
sense.
the last shot isn't going to be you find it. Like they're going to find out and they're going to wrap everything up. So yeah, I mean they could cancel it with
So
like
they cancel
an
it with,
hour
like,
left.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that would be devastating. They better watch it so they don't get canceled with 16 minutes left in the series.
Oh, God forbid. Last one. Fuck the writers. They have turned this into Game of Cersei. They must go back to school. What the fuck do they have, a crush on Cersei or what?
This is the dumbest shit.
Come on.
That's
That
the
one
dumbest
sounds
shit.
like it's like
you know why? That's
the mayor of Titty City wrote it. Can I read that out as that guy?
Yeah, go ahead.
if you've never seen the Titty City thing, look
Fact
it
the
up. Ben
writers.
Show.
They have turned this game to Game of Cersei. They must go back to school. What the fuck do they have a crush on Cersei or what?
Yeah.
All right. So whoever wrote
Titty
that's
City.
stupid because
Titty
Cersei
City.
hasn't been in half the season.
Cersei was in episode 1.
And sorry, she's right now sitting on the fucking Iron Throne.
Yeah.
So
Episode 1, episode 4.
What's that
Cersei.
person's username?
Yeah, let's blow them up.
okay.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
If you listen to this
It's-
show, all
it's a long
400
one.
people who listen, now it's a median.
Tamara Mavondla.
Can you spell it for people who want to just get mad at them?
I can, of course I can. T, and I'll spell the one who said it if John is ended up.
Nah,
Nah,
leave
leave
that
that guy.
Leave that guy.
That guy's already got
Yeah,
enough
that guy's already
problems.
fucked. TAMARAMAVUNDLA.
And where did you see this commented on? What
Twitter?
Instagram?
Instagram.
What post? What was like the page post?
I got to go back, but it was one
like
of
is
the
it like a
ones-
Game of Thrones fan page?
It's the Game of Thrones Instagram.
Oh, the official. Okay.
right.
Yeah, I just looked them up.
So anyone can look at this. We're not blowing this guy
yeah,
out.
it's
but
and look,
But
that's
we
a
are
couple that
we
I
are
blowing
found.
you up.
We want this guy to be like punished.
Yeah,
so that's a good way
that's
that we end it.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
Trust
I'm
the
going to end it
process.
with one question, and I just want a simple yes or no, and if it would be interesting to you. If Game of Thrones became a theme park attraction, how interested would you be? Like Harry Potter.
I would go. It's a yes, but it's a no at the same time.
Yeah, I would go, but I don't care about theme parks. So
like if they built up a King's Landing or a Winterfell,
here's-
like they did. In,
My
I would
issue-
go just to go.
My issue is like, what do I take my kids there and then say, hey, this is where the brother and sister who fucked each other used to live.
yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean,
like,
it's
Hey,
very
right
true.
here is where the brother and sister fuck next to their
Yeah.
dead incest baby.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest
And-
things of all time.
no, yeah, I just don't think a theme park fits that because it's not geared towards that age group.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean
Fair enough.
it's an older.
There's a big
show.
exhibit in Belfast, I think.
Is there?
Yeah,
There's
so
a,
that's like
um,
a thing you could do.
I would.
but-
Yeah, an exhibit would be.
There's
cool.
a game of it's called Con of Thrones, a Game of Thrones convention, like a Comic Con
Oh, okay, yeah.
in like June in North Carolina.
Oh, well, let's
We
go
can
to
Fat
Carolina.
Sam's gonna be there. Hopefully, he lost some weight before he goes there.
All right.
Fat pig.
So we'll catch you back. Thank you for listening. We hope our predictions played out. We'll see what happens and enjoy episode 5.
Trust the process. I think.
Yeah, go Sixers.